Hey guys, it's Tartan coming at you again with another game of Hardcore Minecraft. And today, I think the plan is to look out at the falling rain happily. I don't know what time it is. I need to make a clock. That's a thing I could do. And that was not actually part of the plan, but I do know that I have the ingredients here with redstone and gold. I think that's all I need, yeah. So, there we go. Now another thing to keep in the hotbar. And that, I really should have tried to do that earlier. That'll definitely be a priority in the event that some disaster happens. But so what I need to do is get a place to put all of my extra stuff, right? So we're just going to put a chest in the corner here while we sort of finagle things. But we're going to want to go down into the village with basically all of our inventory space open. Save just a few things. Obviously, you can't go out bucketless. And like right after I say I want to leave everything here, I'm about to bring like every single thing with me. But I don't even need the shovel. I need an axe at all. We will take the golden axe, even though it's sort of weak. And no, we shouldn't need an extra sword, because we're just going to be running around in the village. But we will take melons and melon accessories, because we're going to want to turn them into emeralds, and by the time nightfall rolls around and we go in, there will definitely be a lot of reasons that, oh, taunting Garuda, here you go, buddy, so sorry. And we'll give Ajax and Bella some food too. We don't want anyone to feel slighted. And alright, so rather than grow more pumpkins immediately, I think we're going to try to get one more farmer villager up. But as night approaches, I don't remember how to make these blocks, but I know they exist. The smithing table. Okay, so I need 2 iron ingots, and I don't think I have that much iron, which is pretty rough. Yeah, I think I'll be able to burn down some of the items that I got in trades, though, so that'll work out. Do I have time to make that run right now? I almost went out shieldless. That would have been very careless. I think I do. Because night is not, like, falling yet. We've got, what, like 1 minute before it does? And we'll just, knock down some pumpkins and be ready to do some trades when the next morning comes. We'll just, get right back to it. And probably it would be slightly more efficient to get a very slightly bigger pumpkin field. I think the melon field is quite large enough, and yeah, there you go. That's the end of a golden axe. They break, like, so quick. But I can see how if, you only needed a few breaks, that would be all that you needed. I thought that looked like a thunderbolt. That would be trouble. But we would see a bunch of enemies spawning around if that was going on. And here, we're just grabbing all of the iron stuff, and we're going to try to burn it down in the auto smelter and hopefully be able to turn that into a bit of iron. So the weaponsmith and the toolsmith both are classes that exist. I don't know a ton about the toolsmith except that at the base level everything's bad, and you just got to like buy a bunch of trash, which is fine. But the weaponsmith, I remember getting like axes and swords out of the base level, so I think that's the first one we're going to go for. And wait, the auto smelter, that is what I was doing. I'm walking around with pants in my right hand as if that's going to frighten anyone. So first I just need to make sure that chainmail is even going to burn down. It will. So now we can just load up everything and go inside for the night. And whenever we return, we'll be able to come down here and grab some nuggets. And then that'll be all that we need in order to make the smithing table, and then we will take some emeralds that are going to exist by tomorrow morning, because you know, we've got these melons and such, and we'll be able to sell them. I should make a stone axe just so that I can do a little bit more mining on the way back in. And now, with our amazing ingot transformation, we're going to be able to grab a couple more planks. Yeah, I think it's just like 2 for the table. Yep, there we go. And I think that is what the toolsmiths use, or the weaponsmiths, but actually might be a grindstone. How do I make a grindstone? Maybe I need actual stone for it, and I don't think I've picked up any in my inventory yet, so yeah, there we go. That's exactly what I had to do. I knew I would need the stone for some block eventually. So, grindstone, not the stone cutter, because that makes a mason, but we don't need one of those yet. Never mind, I don't see it. Totally useless. Oh well. I'll get back to that some other day, I guess. Feels bad. I'm simultaneously feeling like I'm just not seeing it, and that maybe I don't have access to it at all here. Oh well, not terribly important. We'll go with the smithing table direction then, and maybe I'll go over to my other world and figure out how to build the stone cutter, or the grindstone. Cause I know what it looks like, and I've made one before. I just don't remember what the components are. You know, the the thing that you need to be able to do to make it. I don't remember how to do that thing. But that makes it all the more important that we bring plenty of pumpkins so that we can sell some emeralds. Because hopefully when we get this toolsmith, we'll just be able to run the tools all the way up to diamond. 63 pumpkins, that's enough for 10 trades, which is likely going to be enough to get them entirely upgraded. If not, I could even like cycle an emerald or 2 in, but I think we'll just do a little bit more of calm melon farming, because we are definitely going to need a lot of melons where we're going. So right now, for the economy, we could theoretically, and I'm not going to do this, but we could spend a ton of emeralds getting iron things that we buy to sell it for 1 individual nugget after we cycle it down through the furnaces, but I don't want to do that. I would rather use stone for a little while. I'm so stylish now. You know, the gold helmet really offsets everything so nicely. And this melon field is getting out of control. It's like almost, I feel like if I don't knock down like 50 things or so on my way into town, I won't even be able to walk through here anymore. Which is its own joy, you know. That's like, that's a triumph in itself. We just need to run down a farmer wherever he happens to be hanging out at. That golem looks a little lost, but we're not going to help him. This butcher is entirely untrained so far, but we don't even have the chicken farm set up. These trees do nothing but get in my way. I will not be the first person to cut down the beauty of the natural world for a slightly more efficient transportation route. I need to level up the cleric at some point, just because I've never leveled up a cleric before, so I don't know what they have. But if history is any gauge at all, it's probably some really cool stuff. Hey, what's going on here, friend? Who are you fighting? What's going on? Has he gone mad? Is that... I want to be careful not to hit him. I think he's stuck with the leaf. Nope. Okay, yeah, he got stuck pretty bad. It looks like he got injured a good bit, but we saved him there, so feel pretty good about that one. And a bunch of rambunctious youngsters just jumping on the beds while that poor long-suffering cleric is just trying to get the kids to act right. Tale as old as time. But what I need to do is... see, for the pants I need 29 emeralds, or maybe a few more if the discount goes away. But I had a farmer. I remember it happening, which means it did. I just don't know where he was working. Up here, perhaps? This village layout is incredibly obnoxious, but really only because the trees obscure visibility so heavily. Alright. This is the farmer that is not the one I'm looking for. Or maybe I just imagined doing it. You know what? I just don't remember. It's been a couple of days. I think maybe the farmer I'm thinking about just doesn't exist. Because I don't think I put any profession blocks over here. Yeah, maybe I just imagined it. Maybe there's one in another town that is a farmer, but it's not that important. I'm just going to sell to this one just to get some emeralds going. And actually, some emeralds. It may be quite a lot. And then I should have done this first. And maybe I should have held on to the pumpkins. But there we go. 24 emeralds. So you can sell 12 of each to him in a cycle. And then before too long, sometimes it seems like it's once or twice a day. I'm not any kind of expert in villagers, but it doesn't ever seem like you have to wait like a full, Minecraft day in order to make it happen. But here we're getting on sort of close to sunset, and this is the time for like the congregation of the village. They all like to get together and chat. But we see that my efforts have been, greatly successful. This is 5, 10, 12. There were some kids too. They may have grown up, but Alright, so this is the one farmer that we find to be underwhelming. And then the really good farmer, he's not even coming to this gathering. Oh, here he is. He's just a little late. So maybe it's in the other village that I leveled up a guy that could buy pumpkins. That would make sense. But yeah, so pretty good. He looks like he wants to get stuck, but never mind, he's alright. So we're just going to go and shear up some sheep. And the great thing about this, of course, is that it's a very low effort thing to farm up, and really you can get a massive village expansion anytime you get the slightest bit inclined to start onto it. I love this acacia tree. They're so beautiful when they're in the color of another climate, because you get sort of the treehouse color offsetting. But yeah, the savanna makes all of the life so, arid and washed out, devoid of moisture, which is great. It really evokes what it's trying to. But something about the offsetting colors of bright green and orange just is very pleasant, and I enjoy it. They're yelling at each other or something. But I'm just going to get a couple more beds. I should make a proper house a little bit closer to the village center, but I'm hoping that they will expand out towards the fields, and then we can do like a sort of crafting hall thing out there in the long run. But here we are. Alright, so they are... Alright, now they're frustrated. They had little lightning bolts. So we've got enough food for more villagers to be created, but we still got to get more beds down, I think. And I thought I would have a crafting table around if I just moved in a direction, and it looks like it was true. But rather than place these beds right now, I do need to run home. Because we've got good solid torch coverage on most of this area now, which is very important. Golems are great for protection, but ideally, you know, you won't have a bunch of monsters spawning around your village at nighttime anyway. And now we've got, basically, it's not 100% safe, but, you know, I should probably start working on trying to make it that way. But every day things get a little bit better. And that torch would potentially obscure, so we'll put that on the tree. And the point of this is to be able to, you know, stop caring if it's nighttime. Although I don't know if that's entirely wise. But mainly for the villagers' sake. Spider? Spider! And due to my valiant efforts, the spider's been slain. And I get my first spider eye. No idea what you can do with that. Probably eat it, but maybe I won't. And then, of course, on the far bank, there are other enemies that hang out. But I think we're just going to worry about that some other day. Or indeed, not at all. So, a hard day's work. Seeds for Garuda. Love for all of the pets. And we lay down. I don't know if you've ever laid down with a diamond shirt on. It's probably uncomfortable, but sometimes, you know, you wanna get up in the morning ready to go. So, speaking of ready to go, we're going to... I'm gonna put the stone up because I don't remember how to make the grindstone thing. It's just so annoying. I feel like it should have been right in front of me. But it's possible that some of these other tables were, you know, I could search. I could do the search for grindstone, and that would... Alright, yeah, I don't know how to make it. It says search right up at the top, and here I am, like, looking at all the pictures. Amazing. But trying to think of what to do going forward here. I don't even think we really need to get another farmer villager, because just this one guy is enough to sell all of what we're getting right now. And then we could just, you know, not pick melons for a couple days and be right back where we wanted to be. Yeah, so we'll just put the smithing table down and grab our emeralds and see what comes of that. Make a couple more stone axes. Do a little bit of farming and you know, place some beds. Make a bigger area with the planks. Just a nice little boring video. My favorite kind to make. And wow, the pumpkin field's really popping off. Okay. I might actually need another villager to buy these. No, I don't think so, though. Because after all, whenever you get enough pumpkins, you can just put them in a chest next to where that guy works, and then the joy of farming is being able to save your increase from year to year. I think I've made a mistake though, yeah. So basically I'm screwing up the field a little bit over time. It's not that important and I'll fix it later. But every time I'm failing to get the seeds back down, I'm screwing up the rows. But I don't even have a hoe implement on me, I don't think. Yeah, so rather than go through the agony of making one, we'll just ignore it. The toolsmiths sometimes sell diamond hoes for like 4 emeralds, and I've gotten them discounted to 1 before, which is fine, but I don't think you can burn them down into diamonds, so it's not as cool as it could be. But whatever the smithing table makes, it'll either be the weaponsmith or the toolsmith, I don't remember, but we'll level them up because I don't know how to make a grindstone. Yeah, I would never... I think I could do this literally all day long, and I would be happy, but I don't think I would ever run out of melons, even with, like, this sort of limited melon patch that I've got going on here. Maybe if I had a much better axe, because I think, like a diamond efficiency 5 axe goes through, it's better than that. And, yeah, out of inventory space again. Amazing! But, of course, it's so many melon slices to make even a stack of melons. Was I picking it up all the way there? Yeah, okay. This farmer is going to be so excited to see me. Just, like, absolutely exhausted from the efficiency. And, ding, level 30, very cool. That's a breakpoint. Very important level. When you're level 30, you can do the best level enchantments from an enchanting table, which I don't own, but I could make. And then I really need a grindstone. But so the thing about an enchanting table is you have to have it surrounded by a bunch of bookshelves, like so many of them. I don't really understand how, but I usually just like build a big ol' like box cage around it until the game says that it's enough. I've only made one ever, but it took me several times before the game would let me do max level enchantments with it. So, who wants a job? We'll put this block over here so that the person can come to work and the village square easily. He'll just be like a guy who works on tools here. Who wants the job? You? Hooray! He's got a job. All right, so we're going to buy a ton of stone hoes from him and throw them on the ground. And then he'll level up. And now... Oh, that's pretty bad. Oh, that's really bad. So this one's totally useless to us. I would have to get a ton of iron to sell it, or just like the most... Yeah, I could get all of the emeralds away for 1 bell and get barely any experience. Or I could do this a lot of times. Yeah, I could do this a lot of times. That's better. Yeah, it's not terribly less efficient than the first level. It's pretty rough. Yeah, it's going to take like a lot of emeralds, but it's better than not being able to level him up at all. So probably like after like 2 more days of farming, we'll be able to push him to the next level of tools. But of course, they have their limits, and I'm just going to throw those stone hoes on the ground. Now that I come to think of it, though, I actually did need one, didn't I? That's pretty funny. How quickly we forget. But we're just going to go over to the row house real quick and plant a bit up there. This guy wants to be a shepherd, but he can't figure out how to get inside. There's a job shepherd, I think, but I don't think they sell anything cool. They might sell shears. I've had one before in a village, but I remember thinking, like, once I got them up higher in level, that it was sort of like a waste. But I think a lot of the villager professions, they're only situationally good. They'd be like good if you were like sticking to one single biome maybe, and then you could get, you know, if you didn't have access to wheat, then it would be like great to be able to buy bread from a villager, but otherwise, like, why wouldn't you just grow your own wheat? Or like restrictive mods where all you did was have villager trades, but you weren't allowed to like plant anything yourself. Or even just like a challenge scenario. I'm sure they exist for Minecraft. Me and my friends used to play lots of various challenge type stuff back in the day for, you know, Pokemon or Final Fantasy games. Whatever. Just, you know, trying to do it at lower levels. More restrictions on class balancing, not using magic, not using items. You know, whatever thing was striking our fancy in that time. And here we're just going to expand straight out, so be an easy thing to build, because this is all about that's bad. This is all just about function. And if the kids want to leave their parents' houses and come out here, then they'll have a bed. You know, it's not going to be fancy, but it'll be a roof over their heads. And some people have a good window, and I forgot I placed the door in that weird way. What a choice. We're gonna backtrack that real quick. We're gonna give them a traditional front-facing door so people know how to walk in, but they'll still have a crafting table in the back. No, we gotta give them. There you go. Still a crafting table. This is where the crafters live. And with the comfort of the clock, I know that nighttime is going to begin soon enough, but we're just going to go ahead and place that there just because, you know, there's only so much uniqueness you can take. All right, and of course no one lives here yet, but very well might be able to get them to do it eventually. Sometime, because that one guy just went over there when I didn't want him to. If you remember a few videos ago, the dude just like straight up was acting a fool, going into a house that was clearly not his and laying down with my beloved bird. And Gerd is just chirping away. He knew I'd be back, but as the night falls again, another successful day. And we have still a bed on us. But we're going to make a whole bunch more. Yeah, we're going to make all the beds again. And then tomorrow, you know, we'll do another phase there in the village. A nice boring video where we macro up, but you know, it feels good. I am very pleased with this world. It's given me everything that I want. So per day, or per reset, right, if you get 12 emeralds out of a trade, that's 72 pumpkins, so a stack and a little bit of change. And then it's the same amount of melons, but it goes to 48, which by 9 is what, a shade under 450, like like 438 or something. So you need like a bunch of melons to hit the cap. But melons drop like 2 or 3 whenever they fall. So really it's only just like 150 melons because it's 9 to get them together. I hope none of that math was egregiously off because, you know, I'm doing it while trying to hit pumpkins, but not pumpkin seeds, and while listening to music and talking. I swear I can do basic arithmetic. I've long prided myself on my ability to do multiplication. You know, just one of my many human traits is the ability to do basic mathematics. That doesn't mean that I deserve to conquer the universe, though. The villagers are having their morning schmooze where they have coffee and chat each other up and talk about that weird guy the previous day who had more melons than anyone had ever seen before. Wondering what's really going on with him. But this is not going to be enough to cap, or it might be actually because we're getting a discounted rate. Yeah, so that is enough to cap on the melons at least. And anytime you get the discount, it's obviously awesome. Not super relevant in the long run. Oh, another cat. Well, you know what that means. It's time to have some mutton and then... Hey, buddy. You can be a nice outdoor cat. Go do your thing. Jump around. But if you keep following me forever, then, well, I guess we're going to have to take 2 cats home. No, I think we will sit him out here to be the cat of the melon field. Not like outside, you know. We'll give him a place to stay. I don't want the house getting too crowded. I need to build a little expansion, but there's so much to do. And of course, we all witness the limited amount of time in which I have to achieve my goals. The sun just goes up and down, and before long, I realize that I've almost got enough melons to sell for a cap again, which is excellent. I need to, yeah, one of these days, but actually, when I think about it, first of all, I'm going to complete the sentence. Second of all, like, I'm not upset with the progress that I'm making, because, like, I have all these goals, but I'm making progress on them. There were way more annoying, like, trees in the middle of this town before I started cutting them down. This place was a mess. There was, like, waterfalls cutting through it. I've really made it a better place, and I'm pleased with that. But here we go. It's time to just toss a bunch more of these items onto the ground. There we go. So after another day or two and just a couple dozen more emeralds, we should be able to get him to the next level where we should be able to get at least some good tool. And time to just go and grab more. Yeah, so the amount of beds that you can make is, I mean, because if I was even just standing over here to get it, I don't have that many sheep, right? It's just like 10. And shears are pretty effective. They don't break, like, immediately. So I think, yeah, when we can make 10 beds a day, we're going to have another cat. Awesome. So they're just spawning all over the place, which is excellent. And there's so many more iron golems around. It's definitely great to see the positive effect I've had on this village. And I just need to make my way to this crafting table here because, yes, a couple more stone axes are necessary. And we're just going to cut down some trees. So this is what I would call, like, peak enjoyment of Minecraft for myself. It's where I realized that something that I wanted to do was also aligning with one of my broader long-term goals. Like right here, I have sort of the perfect example of it. I have a broad long-term goal of increasing the population of the village, for which I need wood, of increasing the safety of the world generally, for which I need charcoal, and for increasing my survivability and economic power, which is what all the melons and pumpkins are about. And then in the much broader sense, I have like the functional desire for these trees to be gone, just so I can see what's going on a little bit more. And then there's the aesthetic quality of that as well. So it's very layered in the benefits that are having here. It's certainly much more satisfying than simply cutting down some trees in a place where I didn't care. Or on like a spruce tree farm where you grow them specifically to cut them down. Because these are, you don't want to complain about a tree being in your way. That's not the kind of person that I am. But in Minecraft, sometimes they feel as if they're in your way. You don't want anything bad to happen to these trees. I mean, obviously, you don't want anything bad to happen to them. But they feel like they're in your way a little bit. But there are certain times of day when you can see the villagers get like green particles around them when they go to their job blocks. And sometimes I think, yeah, maybe that's when they replenish their trades. But for all of the trading I've ever done, I'm certainly nowhere close to an expert on how it all works. But with 34 emeralds, I think I just buy the diamond pants. And then we'll worry about the toolsmith some other day. It won't take too much longer, but if I can get like good diamond tools, then all of this trading will be easier. So, and also we already wasted, or rather spent, a couple dozen emeralds here, which isn't the end of the world, but it's not the beginning of it either. It is merely an observation about how much more experience there is left to do. If I had a bunch of iron to just offload, I could do that, but I don't. And of course, since I don't have a toolsmith, that can sell me the tools I want, the iron won't even help too much. But we're just gonna go get some more wool because wow, yeah, they've almost all eaten their way back up to fluffiness, and that means it's time to relieve them of their sorrow and their hot summer coat. Although it draws on autumn now. Oh, another cat. Marvelous. So, I think. I mean, I've long suspected that like the more villager amounts increases like the golems and such, which I'm sure is common knowledge. But I think it also increases the cats too, because this is just like a lot of cats compared to previously when there were only a few villagers around. So another latent benefit is that, and as someone has told me, the creepers are afraid of cats, so that'll be a good way to make sure that they don't come in and mess up my land. But we'll just make another length of this row house here. Oh yeah, this is wonderful. Even just what we've done today and cutting down like those 4 trees, now you can see from the farmland to the inside of the village, which is much more beneficial and provides a great measure of security. So when I can go like this and say, oh, there's a creeper all the way over there, I would never accidentally run into them. Or, worse than a creeper, what if there was a witch? I shouldn't even speak the names. I've killed one witch on hardcore. I just ran up and hit him with my sword. I did not know I was supposed to be afraid. But many more times I have run in fear, and once, of course, paid the ultimate price for witnessing the witch. A very sad day. Moderately sad. I got better. Yeah, we can just place the beds first. That occurs to me. you know, we'll build it stylishly out of both oak and birch, and that'll make people happy. And all right, it looks like the master farmer. Yeah, the master farmer is here, so this will be a nice place for him to be. The most reputable and important member of the community. I think you can like wake him up from bed to sell you stuff, which if you've ever met a real farmer, first of all, they would go to bed slightly before now, but they also would probably not want to engage in commerce if you woke them up in the middle of the night. So we're going to let that guy sleep in, or rather not sleep in, but sleep. And I'll need to move that chest before too long. So this house is a mess and is hard to walk around in, and we'll need to increase the front, but it is ultimately okay. He's just gonna like congregate around this cake, which is pretty nice, pretty funny stuff. And we're just gonna buy a few more emeralds immediately, and then what to do? I have 40 more wool. Man, that's a lot of wool. I think we should just try to get the smith leveled up, because that'll be a good finishing point for the video potentially. And of course, on the way, the only thing to really do is get a bunch of pumpkins. Eventually, the toolsmith can give you like a diamond of almost all of them, and they're enchanted, and sometimes the enchantments are good and sometimes they're not. But really, it's that you can get diamond without having to have diamonds. And of course, once you stack mending on things, all you have to do is have an experience farm, which in this world is probably going to be chickens, but I haven't decided. And the toolsmith should be somewhere. Okay, these guys are congregating like all the way over here. I don't know where they think they live, but it's not like totally unsafe, is it? Is it? Moderately unsafe. We will class it as moderately unsafe. Now it's more safe. Getting a little bit hungry. Chomp down on some mutton. So the toolsmith has been waylaid or lost. He's probably just like chatting in somebody's house. Is this him? Excuse me, sir. Are you a merchant? Yes, here we are. Okay, he has not yet replenished his trades, so there's really no reason to be bothering him, is there? I think while we wait for that, we'll just chop down a tree. And wonder if I should put a couple of more professions up, like Fletcher. Or actually, I know I need to work on librarians, and I need to be working on breeding cows also. So I'm just going to go and get some wheat real quick while we wait for that delightful merchant to remember that he actually does have 12 more stone hoes secreted behind his back, and then we'll be able to get what we need. You know, some people think that you can't really be happy just walking up and down a farm in Minecraft hitting wheat all day long, but I want to tell you, you can. Like, a lot of times in life, people will want to criticize what you like, and they'll make you feel almost like you're wrong about thinking something is awesome when you definitely do. But you don't have to listen to them. You can just run around up and down playing hardcore Minecraft the wrong way like I do. I don't want to say I don't care what other people think about it. Obviously, I want people to think that I'm cool and awesome and, you know, tall or whatever. But my enjoyment of things is not usually linked to what other people think about them, or I try not to let it be. Not like a independent thinker thing, but just as a practical matter. Because like, growing up, a lot of people didn't think that what I wanted to talk about was interesting, and they still don't. And it bothered me a lot, like, whenever I was a kid, but I don't worry about it too much now. My life's a lot easier on me now than when I was a child. Going to school was rough. I didn't have the best time. I I definitely prefer to work for a living than to sit in a desk and obey a bunch of rules that don't get me at least paid a small amount of money at the end. I think that was what I didn't like most about being a kid, was that I didn't have any money, and I definitely always wanted stuff that you could buy with money. But the funny thing is I always tried to keep my desires somewhat reasonable. I mean, like all people, I wanted, the Lamborghini and the silliness, but really what I wanted was just like good speakers and like to be able to get the video games that I wanted whenever they came out, which of course I was a child. Obviously, these weren't like super reasonable desires, and it's very reasonable that I didn't always have them. But due to that being like the kinds of stuff that I wanted, now I can have everything that I want. And I'm out of emeralds. My emeralds are on the ground. Oh, right. There we go. I'm not out of emeralds. My emeralds were on the ground. About to make me upset. Oh, because when they moved into the trade window, they moved away from the inventory slot, leaving it open. Come on, do a little swirly thing, and now he's gold! Okay, so we can sell flint, and if we get 13 emeralds, we can get this enchanted pickaxe. So to get him any further than this, we either need a lot of emeralds or a whole lot of flint. And that's alright because, well, at least now we can get a decent pickaxe. But, well, I was hoping for a slightly better result. If we tried to do this again, it would take probably, oh god, it looks like 100 of them or something to level them up, so that's not really that viable. But we'll go try to see the farmer real quick. No, we don't even have enough to tempt the farmer. We might have just enough melons once we make the melon pieces into melons. There we go, 13. And that'll be enough for us to get an iron pickaxe, but now I'm realizing I don't even want to spend the emeralds on that because I don't need it right now. I'd rather get these pants. But first let's just see how many experience we could expect from it. Oh man, they're all standing together and I cannot tell them apart because the weaponsmith just has like a little, or toolsmith has a little hammer thing on his back. The weaponsmith has a sick eye patch, but he's not around. Alright, in conclusion, I don't know what he looks like. You know, if I held out the emeralds, then I bet he would do the thing where I would see that he had a trade at least. Do they do that? No, they don't do that. They do look at you, though. Well, all of this has been very illuminating. Here we go. Here's the toolsmith. There's the little hammer. So we wouldn't have to do too many of these trades, right? It looks like maybe 10 total. So it might be the same amount of emeralds raw, but it would be significantly quicker. And Fortune 1 is fine, you know, like that's a decent little pickaxe to get for 13. And it looks like it's 18 total normally, but we're going to not do that. because my iron pickaxe still has some life in it, and I'm not really that interested in getting more mining going on at the moment. And I was supposed to mine the wheat in order to breed cows, and instead I used it to make bread and then didn't give any to villagers, so that's a choice. But that's what happens when you're trying to achieve too many goals at one time, right? Like you can often frustrate your efforts. And night is almost about to fall, but not before we jump around here and get a couple more happy cows. Delightful herd of happy cows. And one of these days we're going to separate it. Because right there, did we just open a door into them? No. Alright, yeah. So, we definitely... Oh, it was this door opening that we heard. Alright, and that cat has decided to adopt that house, so good deal. And we'll just go in this direction just to see the places where torch coverage is lacking, because we normally go the other way in. So yeah, definitely missing some in this area. A little bit perilous. Sometimes the ambient songs that I have are real squirrely in their sounds. That makes me think that there's some sort of chirpy enemy that I have not yet encountered. Not awesome. Not the most fun thing. But it's alright. But as we walk down the long bridge home, get a couple of vines out of the way. Oh, well, come on in. Yeah, come on in and meet everybody. Come on now. Yeah, just make yourself at home. Hi, Bella. There's a new cat. I know. You'll get along fine. Little seed for Bella. And then time to lay down for the night. And I think, yeah, this is just about time for me to finish up this video. Been laying around, wow, 53 minutes. Yeah, definitely time for me to finish up this video. But just wanted to say, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you've had a good time. Just chilling and macroing up our economy here. I know it's probably frustrating in a lot of ways to watch me hack through and forget like how to make tools and stuff, but happy to just be chilling out and listening to music and having a good time. So when we return, probably more of the same. Although I definitely am going to go into my other survival world and figure out how to make a grindstone, and then we'll be able to get a weaponsmith and get one of those working, because the next stage of emeralds that we'll need is a lot of emeralds in order to level up the various villagers. So we need a lot of emeralds both for our armor and for the tool and weapons that we want to be able to get. And then mending books are like 30 some odd emeralds each too, so I need to work on getting the librarian of mending. So there's a lot of junk to do, but there's a lot of time to do it, and so I hope I'll see you in the next video when we continue our hardcore adventures, and just really having a good time here. I need to go and get a bird. I need to... Man, it's getting crowded in here. I need to build an expansion perhaps over there. We'll just cut through this wall and have like a little like sunroom there. But where's the east? Where's the sunrise? But yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll get something going on. But that's gonna do it for this one. Longer than normal, but not terribly longer, I guess. Certainly feel like I've accomplished a lot in this, so feeling good. And well, time for an abrupt ending.